My name is PARAMESWARY and my metric number is 262899. Today I am going to present about my final year project, which is the title is Leaning Tower of Teluk Intan. This is a production based project. Now I am going to present about the abstract first. Leaning Tower of Teluk Intan is a documentary about the history of a building. This documentary developed around a contractor Leong Chun Chong who built this building in 1885. This documentary takes place in Pekan Teluk Intan, Teluk Intan. This documentary has been created to tell the world the history of this building. This documentary has three takes, which is a teaser, behind the scene and the real documentary. The storyline of this documentary is about the history of Leaning Tower and its building structure and also senior citizens' information about it. Other than that, this documentary also has an active host which mostly interacts with the public. From this documentary, I hope that more society can know about the history of this Leaning Tower and also get to know some hidden facts about it. Now I am going to present about the introduction. Documentary is a medium that combines audio and visual media or audio to convey information to the audience. Documentary contains information sourced, fact collected through research and delivered by various methods. The contents presented aim to provide exposure, explanation and debate about the advantages and the benefit of a documentary shown to the target audience. The study focuses on a documentary named Leaning Tower of Teluk Intan. This documentary is about the history of Leaning Tower. Generally, this documentary focuses on the history. The process by using methods more appropriate to the situation and applying good cinematographic techniques that can attract viewers to watch. The documentary highlights about the history of Leaning Tower in Teluk Intan that show how unique the design of this building and also to educate the audience about one of the tourism place in Malaysia that need to be take care. There are several methods used to obtain sufficient information regarding this building. Some of the methods used collecting the data were interview and secondary researches. In order to produce a compelling and systematic documentary, the production needs careful planning before the actual filming. Next is about the objective of the study. The documentary Leaning Tower of Teluk Intan has been created to achieve several objectives. Firstly, to tell the history of Leaning Tower of Teluk Intan, then to tell how unique the Leaning Tower to the audience. The objective is also include about telling the society to preserve the heritage places and to attract public attention to Malaysian tourism places. Now I will explain about the research scope. Documentary Leaning Tower of Teluk Intan target is a public community, especially the community who loves to travel. This documentary is published to arouse the interest and knowledge to target audience. In addition, it is also published to expose how important the tower for us to care it. This makes the documentary of Leaning Tower of Teluk Intan acceptable to the target audience based on the information they want to convey. This documentary has been visualized without involving sensitive and negative elements. The next slide is about literature review. The first word in the concept of documentary. According to Nicholas Bill, documentary has been described as a filmmaking practice, a cinematic tradition, and mode of audience reception that is continually evolving and it's without clear boundaries. Grayson's principle of documentary were that cinema's potential for observing life could be exploited in a new art form. Grayson definition of documentary as creative treatment of actuality, which is according to Peter Morris. The next word is concept of tower. According to the Wikipedia, a tower is a tall structure, taller than it is wide, often by a significant factor. The principal function is the use of their height to enable various functions to be achieved, including visibility to other features attached to the tower, such as clock tower. Next slide, I will present about the method of production. Pre-production is the first in documentary production. Pre-production is the process of gathering every information that need before the actual production start, and it is an essential phase of the documentary process. For the synopsis, there are three acts that used to explain. At the beginning of the documentary, the story begins with the introduction of host who loves to explore historical places. The host will introduce and explain a little bit about the historical place, which is a tower. The documentary continues with the introduction of Leaning Tower at Teluk Intan. The documentary concludes with words and messages, which is the people need to take care of historical places for a better future. Voice-overs were done precisely and professionally to ensure that the audience can get the most of the documentary. For the budget, it played an important role in the production. My total budget for this documentary is Rm 200. And this slide is about the treatment for documentary, teaser and BTS. This slide is about the running order for three segments, which is documentary, teaser and also behind the scene. The next slide is about the storyboard. I use medium shot, wide shot and also long shot to shoot this video. The next slide is about production. Production is the second stage in documentary where the actual shooting session for a production of a video or movie has been started. The duration of this documentary is 10 minutes, which will cover the introduction, climax, conclusion, and also the ending credit as well. It took 4 days to record since we are facing MCO. I just used two locations only, which are the tower and the respondent's house. Due to MCO, I cannot get into the tower, so I just shoot outside of the tower. Production for this documentary takes place in the selected location. We also film where the host interview the respondents in our film. We use the equipment provided by our crew as props to further build more interesting documentary production. To produce interesting documentaries, we use various methods in the production such as the first one is lighting techniques. In the process of implementing the documentary of Leaning Tower in Teluk, Intan, one lighting technique was used that is natural. Just one lighting technique was used that is natural lighting. The second one is visual. In this process of shooting, several shot techniques have been used. These include established shot, close-up, medium close-up, long shot, normal angle, different angle, and camera pan. The third one is audio. During the film processing, the recording used a clip mic and shotgun mic to amplify the soundtrack and eliminate noise. Voice-over was recorded to further enhance the storytelling of this documentary. Different types of music are used to enhance the documentary mood. And the last one is talent. There are 4 talented people are make this documentary successful. The next slide is about the post-production. Post-production is one of the most creative phases of film production when editors are involved in the process of integrating visuals with audio as well as graphic, writing images and more for the audience. Post-production is the important part in this video, such as add voiceover, sound effect and color grading as well. During this documentary process, I use Adobe Premiere Pro, CS6 and Filmora 9 to edit this video documentary. Now I will present about the conclusion. The main purpose of this paperwork is to present about Leaning Tower of Teluk, Intan. The working journey of producing this documentary has used 3 production methods, namely pre-production, production and post-production. The importance of this work is that we are able to provide an easy way for documentary. With this kind of documentary, we can also remind the public of the importance of know about the historical places in Malaysia. We are also to tell people to upgrade the tower for better future. That's all from me. Thank you.